Francis Ngannou has only been afraid of one man his entire career. Literally, when these guys fought, when Ngannou fought this guy, who's also fighting UFC 291, they spent the entire time circling the ring, and this fighter had to, you know, chase him around. I think Joe Rogan, who was a commentator when these guys fought, said something to the extent of Ngannou might have to go see a sports psychiatrist, just because of the fear that this man instilled in Francis Ngannou. He's actually his last loss. It's Ngannou's last loss. I mean, it came via decision, but a loss is a loss, right? And now is an L. Guys, let's get into it. This is for UFC 291. If you guys are here, drop a quick subscribe so I can keep you up to date on everything happening for UFC 291, the BMF, and, you know, other UFC events moving forward, all right? So, Derek Lewis. 38-year-old Derek Lewis. So, little side note on UFC 291, the BMF belt, right? What's going on with the age group on the main card, right? The main, not the prelims, but, you know, the main. Well, Derek Lewis is on prelims, but you have Jan, who's 40 years old, fighting Alex Pereira. You have Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who's also 40 years old, fighting Michel Pereira, so two Pereiras, right? Then you also have, like we were saying, 38-year-old Derek Lewis, and he's fighting another 38-year-old in Marcos. And then Tony Ferguson, who's 39, but he might as well be 40 as well. It's really high age group of this card. But, so, you know, we might have a few retirements. That'll be super interesting to see, especially somebody like Tony Ferguson coming off of 5 straight defeats, right? But that's a story for another day. The man of the hour is Derek Lewis. Why are we talking about him? Well, not only is he Francis Ngannou's nightmares, but he's fighting on this card. And it's a really interesting fight because Derek Lewis is 1-3 in his last 4. And Marcos is 3-1 in his last 4, right? So both of these guys are going in there with the same objective. Both these guys are going to go in there, try to stand and bang, and try to get each other knocked out. At least how I'm taking this, right? While this fight's going to be in the prelims, I think it has the opportunity to be one of the fight of the night contenders, especially because of the way that Derek Lewis has gone out on his last. I think he's dropped 3 straight, if I'm not mistaken. I think he lost to Tuivasa, Spivak, and then he lost to somebody else. I don't remember, Ray Pavlovich. But regardless, he's desperate for a win. He is desperate for a win. Thank goodness his card's not in Houston because he doesn't fight well at home. So, you know, if anything, you know, it's going to help him out the fact that it's not in Houston. But facing another elder with Marcos de Lima, right? 2 guys here who are both, de Lima's got 2 straight wins, if I'm not mistaken. So needless to say, it's going to be an interesting and fight of the night contender, only because I know what the game plan has been for Derek Lewis in all his fights. But he's never been this desperate. He's never been coming off of 3 straight losses like he is right now. So for sure he wants to go in there and get a big W. But aside from that, I think he wants to make a statement. He wants to remind everybody of the power that he's got, the power that he possesses, the power that made Francis Ngannou run from him for 3 rounds and cause Ngannou to have nightmares thereafter. Ngannou at that point had already lost to Stipe Miocic, so this was his 2nd straight loss, right? And we saw the run that he went on thereafter, and it wasn't because of a sports psychologist. You know, he just possesses that power as well. Those are probably some of the 2 strongest punchers in the UFC. So again, super interesting fight. My prediction for this fight, what I think is going to happen, I want, you know, I'm not sure if either one of those gentlemen is going to retire. Again, the age is very high, so we might have several retirements on this card. I don't know if Derek Lewis is gonna retire on this one, but if he does, I have a feeling he's gonna want to go out with a bang. He's gonna want to get that knockout. So we all love seeing the heavyweights for what they are. That's knockout machines. So my personal prediction, Derrick Lewis is going to go out with a bang. Whether he retires or not, he's going to get a knockout, in my opinion. Someone's going to take a nap and be well rested after this fight's over. They're going to take a nice little nap. But you guys, comment down below what you guys think is going to happen. Will Derrick Lewis sleep Marcos, or will it be the other way around? He'll get his 4th loss and find his way out of the UFC. What is going to occur? Super interested in finding out and checking out what you guys think is going to happen. So go ahead and comment that down below. Bye.